Shutterbugs! Welcome back to the Hinds Library System Summer Reading Photography class. I'm Shannon, and this week we will be looking at the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is the best known principle composition in photography. The simple technique is considered by many to be the basis for making well-balanced, attractive photographs. The rule of thirds can help you balance your composition by aligning your subject and background elements along a simple grid of 9 squares. You can add interest and visual tension to an image. Imagine drawing a tic-tac board over a photograph and adjusting the placement of your subject to be along any of the lines or their intersections. This is the rule of thirds, and it's a compositional technique that goes back hundreds of years. Not only does the rule of thirds make your photo more interesting to the eye, but it can also leave room for context and dramatic tension. As we can see in this photograph, the rule of thirds is used to divide our horizon. Our first third is this shaded area, and then the other 2/3 are our scene that we are wanting to draw attention to. The rule of thirds is very important in landscape photography. Unless you are going for a particular dramatic effect, you would never want to physically divide your horizon in half, literally splitting the photo. So that's why we use the rule of thirds. It would either be, depending on what you were photographing, if you were photographing a field of wildflowers, you would focus more on the flowers. So you would have your horizon line here where 1/3 would be sky and then 2/3 would be your flowers. As you move the subject of your photograph off center, pay attention to what else comes into frame. You can create balance by having a counterpoint in an opposite section. But always ask yourself, is this working for me or against me? In this photograph, we can see an example of that. Most of our subject is on this side and in this third of the photograph. This bird here is very necessary for creating balance in our photograph. And then horizon, we have 1/3 water, 2/3 sky. So the rule of thirds is being used in multiple ways in this photograph, as far as our horizon goes, and making sure our subjects are lined in a way that creates balance in our photograph. All smartphones have the capability of adding a grid to your screen. Here we have an example of how to go to those settings on an iPhone. So you're going to go to settings and then you're going to scroll down to camera and you're going to select grid and slide it over to green. And when you open your camera, you now have a grid. It's kind of hard to see, but it'll help you align your photographs. On Android, same principle, but different steps. So you're going to open your camera and you're going to go to your settings. And you're going to scroll down until see grid lines and select And now you have grid in your camera. Your exact steps could be a little bit different depending on the particular type of phone that you have. Principle is the same. If you have any issues, Google is always there to help you in any way. That is the rule of thirds and brief overview of how we can use this important rule to provide balance and interest and improve our composition. Your assignment for this week is to take a walk. Photograph your neighborhood using the rule of thirds. And how can you position a subject in different parts of the frame? Then work backward, building a photograph from the background forward. Find a scene, compose, and then place your subject within it. Experiment with tension, context, and balance. Study each photograph to see how the elements work with each other. I hope you've enjoyed this week's lesson, and we would love to hear some feedback from you. You can find us on Instagram at JHLS_Shutterbugs. We would love to see your photographs. So if you have an Instagram account, tag us in your photos. That's it for this week. Bye, Shutterbugs.